You could put some music on though if you want.
Yeah.
And just whatever. Put on some Incubus. Let's hear some more about what he's got to say. Because I wouldn't mind hearing Wish You Were Here. So, this video is going to be... Anyways, I forgot to do the what's up, YouTube? So go ahead and hit the like, subscribe button, you mean, and check this, and whoop. So, no, on a serious note. I have already touched once on the 12 universal laws, and this here is the 7 Hermectic Principles. This is going to be the first time I've read this information, and so I don't want it to be construed as these are my beliefs, but I know that there's valid information in here that I think people should have the opportunity to be presented with and choose for themselves, and do your own homework as well, folks. Wake up and quit strolling for cock on your phone and try to save your soul if you could, because that's what it's about. And it ain't just your soul either, fuck. You're fucking with my head when you ain't doing shit right. So you're gonna need to figure it out. I'd appreciate it. Dope. So there's 7 Hermetic Principles. Laws. It says below are 7 laws or principles that the Kabbalion is based upon. The principles of truth are 7. He who knows these understandingly possesses the magic key before whose touch all of the doors of the temple fly open. The Kabbalion. The principle of mentalism. The principle of correspondence. The principle of vibration. The principle of polarity. The principle of rhythm. The principle of cause and effect, and the principle of gender. So the principle of mentalism. The all is mind. The universe is mental. The Kabbalion. The principle embodies the truth that all is mind. It explains that the all, which is the substantial reality underlying all the outward manifestations and appearances which we know under the terms of the material universe, the phenomena of life and energy. In short, all that apparent to our material senses is spirit, which in itself is unknowable and undefinable, but which may be considered and thought of as a universal, infinite, living mind. It also explains that the phenomenal world or universe is simply a mental creation of the all, subject to the laws of created things, and that the universe as a whole and in its parts or units has its existence in the mind of the all, in which mind we live and move and have our being. This principle, by establishing the mental nature of the universe, easily explains all the varied mental and psychic phenomena that occupy such a large portion of the public attention, and which, without such explanation, are non-understandable and defy scientific treatment. As understanding of this great Hermetic principle of mentalism enables the individual to readily grasp the laws of mental universe and to apply the same to his well-being and advancement. The Hermetic student is enabled to apply intelligently the great mental laws, instead using them in a hazard manner. With the master key in his possession, this student may unlock many doors of the mental and psychic temple of knowledge and enter the same freely and intelligently. This principle explains the true nature of energy and power and matter, and why and how all these subordinate to the mastery of the mind. One of the old Hermetic masters wrote long ages ago, "He who grasps the truth of mental nature of the universe is well advanced on the path to mastery." And these words are as true today as at the time they were first written. Without this master key, mastery is impossible, and the student knocks in vain at the many doors of the temple. We ain't had the keys, and we've been knocking on doors in vain. So, the principle of correspondence. As above, so below. As above, so below. This is from the Kabbalion. The principle embodies the truth that there is always a correspondence between the laws and phenomena of the various planes of being and life. The old Hermetic axiom, that's a, so the word axiom is a hypothetical subatomic particle. Hypothetical subatomic particle. Hasn't been proven that it exists. Just wanted to clarify on that. So, ran in these words: as above, so below. As above, so below. And the grasping of this principle gives one of the means of solving many a dark paradox and hidden secret of nature. There are planes beyond our knowing, but when we apply the principle of correspondence to them, we are able to understand much that would otherwise be unknowable to us. This principle is of universe and application as of the manifestation of the various planes of the material, mental, and spiritual. So I'm gonna skip this just because I don't really like reading, because I don't fully understand what it is that I'm reading. Is written in, like, there's too many words that I don't understand, and we know that when you say things that you don't understand, that shit has power, and you could be speaking shit into existence. And in order to not be casting any spells, because I'm pretty sure that you could cast some spells, and by that I mean it's all in the way you spell these words out, and you say shit, and it comes out into existence. Not that I've ever seen a demon jump out of a TV or anything like that, because that's just crazy. I didn't see it. The fucking cats did. I mean, I saw the cat see it. Like, I sat there and watched the cat try to fucking jump and catch it, and both the cats chased it around the house for a minute. I was like, what the fuck just came out of the TV? Yeah. So I know. I fucking know. I didn't see it. I couldn't see it. But, hey, those cats were on it. Just saying. Anyways. Yeah, so I'm going to skip this whole section right here. Let's see. Its use even tore aside the veil of Isis to the extent that glimpse of the fate of the goddess might be caught. Just as a knowledge of principles of geometry enables man to measure distant suns and their movements while seated in his observatory, so a knowledge of the principle of correspondence enables man to reason intelligently from the known to the unknown, study the monad, and he understands the archangel. The principle of vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. The Kabbalion. That's what I noticed first. The principle bodies the truth that everything is in motion, everything vibrates, nothing is at rest. Facts which modern science endorses and which each new scientific discovery tends to verify, and yet this Hermetic principle was enunciated thousands of years ago by the masters of ancient Egypt. The principle explains that the differences between different manifestations of matter, energy, and mind, and even spirit result largely from varying rates of vibration, from the all, which is pure spirit, down to the grossest form. The all. That's what they called it. The Kabbalion. In the Quran, it's Allah. All. It's the same shit. So they agreed, but because it was divided by language, they didn't understand that they're saying the same thing. That's what. Anyways, that might not be. So the all, which is the pure spirit down to the grossest form of matter, all is in vibration. The higher the vibration, the higher the position in the scale. The vibration of spirit is at such an infinite rate of intensity and rapidity that it is practically at rest, just as a rapidly moving wheel seems to be motionless. And at the other end of the scale, there are gross forms of matter whose vibration are so low as to seem at rest. Between these poles, there are millions upon millions of varying degrees of vibration, from corpuscle and electron, atom, and molecule to worlds and universes. Everything is in vibratory motion. This is also true on the planes of energy and force, which are but varying degrees of vibration, and also on the mental planes, whose state depend on vibration, and even onto the spiritual planes, as understanding of this principle with the appropriate formulas enables a Hermetic student to control their own mental vibrations as well as those of others. Mind control. Fuck. Principle to the conquering of natural phenomena in various ways. He who understands the principle of vibration has grasped the scepter of power, says one of the old writers. This is some straight game right here, huh? You want to know how the universe works? Check it out. The principle of polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature but different in degree. Extremes meet all truths are but half truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. The Kabbalion. Now, did you catch that? It said that everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature but different in degree. Extremes meet all truths are but half truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. Didn't I tell you that you were right? Four people, right? You got a male or four poles.
Yeah.
You got a male and a female half. Both are you, and then each one of those male and female each has a right a positive and a negative pole right for each one. So that's four poles, and that's where the cross comes from. I believe
Okay.
four. I knew it was four poles, and each one of us was two people. You freaking we're all trannies. Not that I endorse transhumanism because I don't fully understand what that means, but I think everybody can figure out like where I go. Anyways, so this principle embodies the truth that everything is dual. Okay, I got that. So should I say follow? The thesis and antithesis are identical in nature but different in degree. Opposites are the same only in degree, and so there are two sides to everything, etc., 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 etc. Explains that in everything there are two poles or opposite aspects, and that our opposites are really only the two extremes of the same thing, with many varying degrees between them. To illustrate, heat and cold, although opposites, are really the same thing, the difference consisting merely of degrees of the same thing. Look at your thermometer and see if you can discover where heat terminates and cold begins. There is no such thing. That's because for something to be cold, it is only the um it's actually just how not hot it is. You see what I'm saying? So there's no such thing as absolute heat or absolute cold. The two terms heat and cold simply indicate varying degrees of the same thing, and that same thing which manifests heat and cold is merely a form, variety, and rate of vibration. So heat and cold are simply the two poles of that which we call the heat phenomena attendant thereupon. Manifestations of the principle of polarity. The same principle manifests in the case of light and darkness, which are the same thing, the difference consisting of varying degrees between the two poles of the phenomenon. Where does darkness leave off and light begin? What is the difference between large and small, between hard and soft, black and white, between sharp and dull, between noise and quiet, between high and low, between positive and negative? The principle of polarity explains these paradoxes. No other principle can supersede it. The same principle operates on the mental plane. Let us take a radical extreme example, that of love and hate. Two mental states, apparently two different, and yet there are degrees of hate and degrees of love, and a middle point in which we use the terms like or dislike, which shade into each other so gradually that sometimes we are at a loss to know whether we like or dislike or neither, and all are simply degrees of the same thing.